I'm Andy from Ask Andy About Clothes, and we have the pleasure of talking to Gary Green, founder and CEO of Focusers, which is a provider of fine quality eyewear. Gary, welcome.
Thank you. I'm glad to talk to you, Andy.
Good. Let's first focus on how you got started in the online eyewear business.
Well, Andy, I'm an attorney, and I had a big jury trial coming up back in 1998. That gives you some idea how old I am.
I can beat you, but go ahead.
I had taken my kids on the weekend to watch To Kill a Mockingbird, and I looked at Gregory Peck's glasses when he was playing the role of Atticus Finch, and I thought to myself, what jury could turn down Atticus Finch? And I started looking for glasses that were like that, but at the time, all I could find in the eyewear stores were slanty looking ovals, little metal things, nothing like that. Eventually, I did locate a woman who had an eyewear store herself, and I told her what I wanted. She showed me very big frames, and I said, I don't want something. They were, in the parlance I learned later, 52 millimeter, way too big. She said, well, how about if I sell you children's horn rim frames and I'll just change the temples on it? I tried them. I thought they were great. And I went back to her and I said, I'm sure there are a lot of other people like me who would like frames, quality plastic frames and other style frames different than what's offered. I want to open a mail order business. Do you want to be my supplier and collaborator? She said, okay. I got some backers. And we started out with a mail order catalog, but just while we were doing that, the internet came online. It left the AOL and the captive places. People were now using some of the other browsers, the Mozilla browsers. So we went online, and we originally were going to sell just reading glasses, but people kept asking, can you make regular prescription glasses? And from that, Focusers was launched. And then the next thing that happened is we were approached to go public. And we were working with a group of banks to go public. We were going to be a category killer like Amazon was for books at that time. But unfortunately, the internet bubble burst right in our face. And at the last minute, all of the banks left, and we stayed with Focusers and kept it alive, because we couldn't give it up. It's a great site. We love it. We love the glasses. We love designing glasses. And we love our customers.
It's really interesting how business can succeed and not really follow the rules sometimes. It just, things happen. And of course, you won your court case, right?
I'm a full-time trial lawyer, and I'm the managing partner of a firm called Sitkoff, Pincus & Green in Philadelphia.
Good to know in case I need you here. I really like the detailed information on your site, the history of eyeglass shapes, and especially the Ben Franklin story. What was your motivation for sharing that Ben Franklin story and using him as the inspiration for Focusers brand?
Well, I was a history major in college. I always liked history. I love biography. And before we even started Focusers, I remembered that when Franklin invented the bifocal,
right,
he called them his Focusers. And since we were going to start out with reading glasses, I thought, what a great name for an eyewear site, just taking it from Ben Franklin. He invented the equivalent of reading glasses because his bifocals were clear on the top and magnifiers on the bottom. So it seemed natural, and I love that name because every time I think of it, it reminds me of how far back in history, and in American history, you could trace glasses.
Exactly. I think even in Roman times, they were using colored glass as dark glasses during the gladiators, to watch the gladiators. If we could get a little technical here, on your About page, you mentioned that Focusers insists on using precision optics. Can you share a little more about that and explain it to our members?
Sure. Well, many of the companies that are online who offer inexpensive glasses are actually buying lenses already made in packs, usually from someplace in Asia, and slipping them in. And they are not adequate for most people because there's no center. That is, in order for glasses to work, you have to know where the center is. And in addition, the quality of the glass or the plastic that's used is, in our opinion, deficient. What we do is we have regular opticians who buy the same quality lenses and use the same techniques as a high quality local eyewear store. So when you're buying from Focusers, you're not getting something off the shelf or something that we had shipped in. You're actually having a pair of glasses made the same as if you went to a trusted optician or optometrist in your neighborhood.
And it's still, looking at your website, it's classic styles, and the prices are incredibly reasonable. How do you decide what style frames to offer, and how do you research trends?
Well, that's the most fun. One of the things is we have a group of people who are designers, and when Focusers was going to become a public company, based on our original backers, we actually had millions of dollars to play with, and we have a website that we never used that cost over $500,000, and it had 25,000 SKUs, 25,000 different frames on it, but we didn't go public, so we don't use that. But we stayed in touch with these eyewear designers. And what happens is that if somebody happens to see a television show, a movie, or run into somebody just walking on the street and they take a picture of it, we then look at those frames and we decide how can we make them better. That is, if they're too big, can we make them smaller? If they looks like they're made out of an inferior material, can we make them out of quality Xyle, which is the best plastic type of frame? And then we test it out. We send it to our manufacturer, get a few samples back. We give them out to some people to see how they are, because we have this belief that the only thing that goes on your face is your eyewear. It's the only thing that, I mean, there may be some earrings or nose rings, but for most people, it's the eyewear. And if I put on a pair of, for example, round metals, somebody might say, you remind me of John Lennon, even if I don't look like John Lennon. It all goes back to me trying to look like Atticus Finch. I don't look anything like Atticus Finch, but my eyes did. And you could change your glasses and change your identity. And if you just think for a second, eyewear and shoes were about the same place in the 1920s. People had one pair of shoes for dress, one for work, and one pair of glasses. Now, the average person has sneakers and many different pairs of sneakers. And on your site, I know that there are people that like cap-toe shoes and wingtips and loafers, but everybody wears one pair of glasses, and I think that's a mistake. So Focusers appeals to people who are aficionados. They really get into the romance of their life. They want their appearance to convey an impression. They want to control what people think about them, and that's how we decide what styles we think people would want, and that's how we promote them.
I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, you're looking at somebody's face, and if they have glasses, that's what you're looking at. You know, you've got a really good free shipping program within the U.S. and a reasonable shipping for the rest of the world. Your return policy is very practical. You know, I'm agreeing with you with your wide selection and value that you offer. I'd recommend to our members trying several pair and not wear the same glasses all the time, and just have some fun changing your image. I mean, right. That would be easy to do.
You know, Andy, we have a catalog that we send out about once a year, and on every catalog, it's the first page. It has in bold letters the quote, "Who do you want to be today?" And that's how we feel about the glasses. Who do you want to be? You could be the same person every day, but one day you might want to go to adopt that Greenwich Village, put a pea coat on and some sort of wacky glasses and be a different person that day.
Agree perfectly. That's a great philosophy. Is there anything else you'd like to share with the Ask Andy members?
I just want to tell the Ask Andy members what I mentioned to you. I've been a fan of Ask Andy for a long time. I find the members ask great questions. I'm thrilled that Focusers can sort of join that community that I've been following for years and years and years. And I think that Focusers fits in with the fastidiousness of the people who ask you questions and contribute to the site. And I thank you very much for allowing this interview.
With that forum and the questions that they ask me off, by email, I probably learn as much as they do every day. It's really been a wonderful experience for me. So I really appreciate your time. Great talking to you. And we wish you all the luck in the world.
Thank you. Thank you so much.